All right, that implies to me that we likely have audio now.
Is the audio back? All right, we'll try for it. All
Let's
right,
see.
welcome.
I could check right here. Yes, yes,
Okay,
we have audio. All right.
alrighty. The belated introduction. All right, this is going to prove the point of our introduction. So welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour. My name is Dave Slusher, and I am joined by my colleague Andrew Barnes. And what I was saying when you couldn't hear us is that we are completely fried in the knowledge preparation. we sort of we did not mean to demonstrate so empirically.
So
But
yeah, we did not. So I'll start with the introductions. Yes, I'm Andrew Barnes. Hello, welcome to Live Code Happy Hour today. Developer advocate at ServiceNow. I've been with ServiceNow coming on, I don't know, more than 6 months, less than a year.
all right.
Been on the platform for about 4 years. Love building enterprise and maintaining enterprise applications and services. Specialize in managing large development teams, doing ServiceNow work, and moving their stuff between instances. And goodness, yes, I am tired and of this prep for knowledge, but excited. May 5th through 9th. Intro for Dave.
All right, I'm Dave Slusher. I'm developer advocate for ServiceNow Platform Business Unit, and I've been with ServiceNow a little over 5 years. This is like 3.5 years since I've been in this role. This will be knowledge number 6 for me. Is this 5 for you, Andrew? 6 for you? This will be your
for me, I believe.
Yeah,
14,
everyone
15,
since 14.
16,
Yeah,
17, 18, 19, 6.
yeah. Okay, so we've been to the same number. This will be Andrew's first as an employee. So this
My
will be
first as an employee. Yes,
fantastic.
it's true.
So anyway, so what we're going to do this show is we are going to we'll get to that in a second. What we're going to do this show is what we have run across the point multiple times in the past where there's some fairly simple utilities that we need when we're doing a flow. And so we've found places where just the ability to do an arithmetic operation would have been helpful. And there's places where doing some list operations would have been helpful. Now, the arithmetic, we know for a fact we can do pretty simply.
Yeah.
The list
and Chuck
operations.
has done it. We just can't find it anywhere, so we're going to rebuild it and then put it on the share.
And the list operations, we don't know whether it's physically possible or whether we know how to do what we want. So we got kind of a slam dunk, and then we've got kind of a research project.
It's and true. So, that is how it's going to go today.
Well, so what we'll do the slam dunk first, and we're going to do the arithmetic action. Then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of explore and fumble around on the list operations. And what we're going to see is, can we pass in a list with the list type that Flow will let you do? And then can we coerce that to an array in script and then do an array things? So then, given that, can we join? Can we splice? Can we take two lists and make them one list in this thing, and vice versa? Can we remove elements from the list or add a single element to a list or what have you? All the fun things one could do to an array
that you can do with lists.
And if you do that, then that would actually be kind of cool that you could you could do logic, right? You could loop through the list and you could do logic based on conditions and things like that. So that's what we will attempt to do. Go ahead and let's introduce your beer.
All right. So today I've been on a kick of hilariously named beers, but so I broke my foot, so everything is off in the world. So today I decided to go with a beer I know, a DB Vienna Lager. This is an excellent beer. I already know and love it, and I'm going to enjoy drinking it today.
And this is also not a unique. I don't have a unique beer in my fridge. I'm going with who is this? This is Tumwater Brewing, the cold pressed stout. I think it's actually falling afoul on my green screen.
It is a little.
I just realized I was using the koozie. If you notice this koozie, this wedding seemed hilariously far off when it was scheduled. It is no longer hilariously far off.
No, that is not.
I got to get myself to Charleston tomorrow. So
that's
congratulations.
Tomorrow.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and
start share. All right.
So we'll get that going. And so we have literally nothing on this. We're starting from the complete ground up. We're going to share this screen and turn my camera off. All right. Is sharing?
The share is sharing.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. Then what we're going to do, so let's go to Studio. So we have absolutely nothing on this. So we're starting from just sheer nothingness. So we're going to create an application. We're going to start from scratch, empty application, because we were in this one. I'm pretty sure that more than once we have talked about oh no.
Oh no, what?
The scope. This is, I don't know if I want this XSNC application name scope. I guess we're only putting it to share. It won't matter. What do we want to call this? Flow utilities?
Flow utilities. I like it.
How about, let's be less generic than that.
Okay.
Dev program.
Oh, dev
flow
program. Flow
utilities.
That's
just so that
even-
somebody else, because I don't want to
someone
give
else at ServiceNow could use flow utilities. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true.
I don't like the way that scope.
Be kind to your coworkers. Yeah, we're gonna change that name.
I only got a couple characters.
Yeah. Go to
dev flow. How about that? If you don't have strong feelings, that's good enough for me.
Dev flow. Yeah. Dev,
okay.
How about dev utilities? Not dev. Your dev _ dev.
Util.
Take out one of the devs is what I'm saying.
I have there.
There you go.
They're out.
Util. There you go.
You might be lagging a little bit on me.
Oh,
so.
I was looking at you. I'm sorry. I was looking at YouTube instead of the share.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
The struggle's real today.
All right. I'm going to create this. This is one of those things we have more than once talked about the use case of the application with no tables. And it seems like every time it comes up, we struggle to think of one. And here is exactly one. We're not creating a table in this thing. We've got a scope, which is, we have an application, which is a scope, but really and truly, like anytime that you're existing only to share either flows or flow actions, it's quite possible you have no tables. And that's exactly where we're at with this one. So let's create action. We want a flow designer action. This will pop open the flow designer. And as that chugs, I'm going to open my beer because I didn't do that yet.
Yay, open beer.
I'm actually going to take a sip. Cover me for 10 seconds.
Yeah, so our goal is today to make something that we can throw into the share so that we won't go again. Hey, where's that little operations utility Chuck had when he was using it?
Arithmetic. That doesn't look right. Arithmetic operations. Boy, that doesn't look right. Am I gonna have to Google this to see?
I think there's another I in there. Let's go look. I'm gonna have to type. I am the worst speller.
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic. Yeah.
That was right. Okay.
Just doesn't look right, but it is right.
Look right. Okay. Do we have a category that I'm not going to worry too much about the category? Yeah. The protection, there's no protection. Describe the action. Do simple math operations on 2 numbers. So we're not going to get too fancy. We're really only, this is just really a shim when you need to add something or subtract something, where you don't want to have to create a special action just to do the sum or the multiplication or something like that.
Yep.
Pretty sure, and I can't remember, there will be a point in the future where this will be completely unneeded. but that time is not yet now.
Right.
Promising nothing in the roadmap because we don't do that, but there will be a point in time where you should be able to do stuff like this without needing an action. But as a Madrid, you need an action.
And even in that purported future state, there will be some use cases where you'll want actions that can do these things versus other methods, because actions are easy.
All right, so we need some inputs.
Yep.
So we'll start with
right off the bat, we'll need you need to size. You need to zoom out, zoom in, make your window bigger. Yeah, just make
okay.
And you'll get the you see you just started to see it. There it is. Create input.
Create input. Okay. That was the accessibility. Bootstrap was working against me. All right.
Yeah.
Let's say operator.
Yeah. So operation.
Operand.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Let's do. I'm gonna put it in the middle just so it's a little more.
Okay. Yeah. So
operand
value
1.
Yeah.
Is that too technical?
I'm fine with it.
All right. Let's make that a number. Might as well be a floating.
Do you actually care if it's a number, or do you want to just
coerce it from a
string?
Well, let's think about that. Let's say they give something not coercible. Do we want?
Then when we just return it back.
Do we? Okay, I'm willing to accept the string. Then what we'll have to do, we'll probably have an output that's a success or failure.
Yep. And that seems reasonable.
They'll have a Boolean. Because what I don't want is to have to interpret a 0 versus this is a legitimate 0 versus a fake 0, that kind of thing. All right, let's add another input, and that is operation. And this we want to be a choice list.
Mm-hmm.
And all these guys should be mandatory. Drop down without none. Create new choice list. Let's go ahead and create choices. Add.
And yeah.
Do the classic.
Give us 4 of them
in the classic order.
Multiply, divide. The one I thought about while we were just going through here that I would find extremely just handy, useful, just because I'm super lazy, is like, and I might even make it a separate action, which is just increment. I want to add 1. Mm-hmm. And I have to put 1 in there.
Okay. Yeah, let's not.
We don't have to dilute it yet, but I foresee myself building that one because it's so handy.
Operand 2. All right, we'll leave that. We'll leave them all as strings. So we're just going to take 2 things.
Yep. And then do something to them.
So if we make this string type and we try to put a number in, is it going to allow it, or is it going to reject it at flow time? That's the problem here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure on that.
I don't know how well type check this is. We can go back and change this.
Yeah. So some of the things in Flow Designer are super type check restrictive.
Let's say, and these are not typed at all. So let's just say result. Let's just say success, and we'll return a Boolean value. And then result value. Try to be all right. Does that seem reasonable enough?
Yes.
Okay. So then let's go ahead and let's add ourselves a script step.
A script step. And just because it's confusing all the time, can you pull that back up again?
Pull the script step.
Yeah. The step chooser.
Okay.
Yeah, just hit plus again. Don't be scared by that note. That note says, as long as you're staying inside the instance, you're fine. You don't need Integration Hub.
Yeah,
If
it
you're
really
performing an integration, that's when you need Integration Hub.
the this is one of those ones where that message conveys almost the opposite of what it's trying to convey. It makes you think you can't use script unless you got an integration hub, and it's saying you can use script unless you're
Unless
integrated.
you're trying to do an integration. Exactly.
So we try to we hang a lantern on that as often as we can. And this was I used Flow Designer for a year before I realized I could change the name of that thing. And I found it by
It got
accident
me
because
for
I
a
accidentally
long time too.
I accidentally clicked it one time, and then I said, "Whoa, what's happening there?" All right, let's say do the math.
Do the math. It's time to
All
do
right.
the math.
All right, so our input, and this is going to be one of those things where live on the air, I'm going to expose the fact that off the top of my head, I'm not sure I remember how to do a switch statement in JavaScript. Is it switch? Input. Actually, if I do this, can I do switch? Is it switch case?
Um,
Can I do? Can I do a switch case? This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to actually. Oh no, I got to create variables. What am I doing?
yeah, you need the input variables on.
What am I doing? Okay, let's
step.
do operand 1. It's operand 1. Operation is operation.
Yeah, and it's conceivable given how picky it can be on those, the string versus numeric. We might actually even have to accept operand 1 numeric, operand 2 numeric.
Okay, well, let's see. Let us see. So switch. Switch.
Yep.
Shoot. Get rid of that. I accidentally created one. All right, so switch inputs. Whew, typing hard.
Typing hard.
Inputs dot operation.
Yep. And now case.
Case add. Right? And then
and a break. Then case. Subtract.
And it is a colon, right?
It is a colon, yes.
Case divide. Whoop, wrong. Break.
I like that the syntax editor is actually helping a little there.
It is. I like it.
Oh, it's not doing the auto formatting. I must have done it wrong.
Then let's do a default.
And then default.
I guess I don't really need a break after the default, do I? It's gonna fall through.
No,
I'll leave it. We might actually. Well, yeah. Okay, we got to do it that way. All right. So then.
All right.
Before we get to there,
really tricky JavaScript we're gonna do.
let's go ahead and operand 1 equals, and then I want to do a 2 string. Let's just take, or not a 2 string. Let's do a 2. Is it a 2 float? Here's what we'll do. It should know that we've got a string. Inputs operand 1 dot. Is it going to know enough to 2 fixed? Looks like. Okay. Operand 2 fixed. Now we may very well get our good is number after the 2 string. Says Josh Saxton. Is number after the 2 string.
Asking? Is number after the.
We could.
Yeah, he's saying we should do a check to see if it's a number
before we do
anything else, and then just drop out.
I'm good with that. If inputs dot operand 1 dot.
Well, in fact, just do it outside of your switch statement. Like,
oh yeah. In fact, why am I doing any of this in my switch statement? I should not be doing any of this in the switch. All right. Let's do this. If
would you mind zooming in just one level?
Not at all.
Thank you.
And Elisa is talk about 0 of operand 2. We'll worry about that one in the divide. How about that one?
Oh yeah, for the divide. Yeah.
Operand 1 is number. And let me negate that. If not, it's not being. It was much more helpful in inside that switch statement. All right. And let's just do, because I'm so lazy. I'm just gonna do that again.
And you can make your window a little bigger down as well. Sorry.
All right. Let's make all those all 2s. All right, this should cover all that. All right, tell me when we're good. Good here?
Down. Go down some. Yeah, there you go. That's good.
All right. So now we should have operand 1, operand 2. And so now, and let's, we also need our result. Our result equals false. No. What did I call them? I called them success.
Yeah.
Var success equals false.
And
var result equals
are you trying to do the output ones? Because that would be output dot.
I'm going to assign the output at the very end.
Oh, okay.
I'm just having one for in here. So I got
internally. Okay.
Okay. So add, very simple. Whoop. Gosh, dog it. Getting myself on the right line is the problem here. All right. Result equals operand 1 plus operand 2. Ta-da! Subtract. And I also want to do success equals true.
Okay.
Or do I do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this very first.
And then
maybe I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to set it to true, and then I'm going to put a try catcher on this. How about that?
Okay. That's feeling better.
It seems stupid to have to do this every line, because the only place where we're going to fail, we're not going to fail. There is no is. Josh is actually doing the JavaScript for us. He's doing our legwork behind the scenes. I love it, man. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So there is not a number. Let's just do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of those ifs. I'm just going to do the to fixed, and I'm going to do this the lazy programmer's way. We're just going to do the thing. We're going to do not even that. We're going to just surround the whole thing.
We're going to try.
We're going to catch anything. And I have to put something in there, right? I have to put something in there.
Yeah.
Sex equals false.
False. All right. That's smelling a little more like victory.
Divide. We could put a message, but I don't even care about the message, honestly, at this point. Divide. Result equals operand 1 divided by operand 2.
Yeah, it's spelled
But
operand wrong.
thank you for pointing that out, Andrew. And
There we go.
if
Operand 2 is
operand
0.
2 equals 0, let's say
Break.
R2 not equal 0.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be more of a slam dunk. It's like just the smallest things are a challenge today.
Well, that's the difference in between writing a function generically for one use case, like or just for one use case, or when you're trying to genericize it and make something more enterprisey level.
Yeah, that
It's
is true.
you have to handle all the failure possibilities you can think of, and that adds all the complexities, right? I mean, most of the complexity here is what if the
Yeah, what if this
what if
value is something weird
what if these are
else?
these fail cases.
And then we'll just say success false.
That's been a pretty prevalent like I feel like that's a running theme in any enterprise level work, right? Is the adding the little feature easy,
Mm-hmm.
adding the little feature for all the edge cases of all of your users possible tricky.
Yes. Well, and that's, I mean,
That's what makes it enterprise, right? Is that it doesn't ever fail.
right. The session that I'm working, the workshop I'm working on is about, I'm doing a workshop for basically for QA or organizations, right? ATF for QA organizations. That's what I'm going to be presenting at Knowledge. So I have really actually been in a QA mindset for like a month now, which I've never worked in QA. And so this is kind of a new thing for me. And so I'm now looking at stuff from the perspective of, okay, because the programmer way is you look at this and say, here's how it's going to work. And then the QA is, but what if? But what happens? What happens when? And so I don't generally, programmers, we are traditionally historically weak on the what happens then. And so I'm thinking about this more right now than I ever have in my entire career.
In your default, you want to say you failed?
Yes. Let's say if we should not, like, the default should not be reachable.
And you also need to break out of your multiply.
Oh, you are correct. That would be something. There was a bug right there, right? If we didn't do the break, then we would have fallen through and done the fail case of the default. Okay, so then success. This should not be reachable because
should not, because we controlled the inputs.
We control. Yeah, there should be no way for them to.
They shouldn't be able to insert bad inputs for that, but whatever.
Okay, so
we
now
accounted for it.
Our outputs dot
success is success.
So we want, and I always fall apart on this part. I assigned this guy.
So you need to type him out, and then you assign him. So it's
I assigned this guy the value that's this. This guy. What do I do with this guy? Oh, I do it down here. Okay. Inputs, output success
is equal to success.
Output success equal to success. Outputs.
Megahertz says you should never go full QA.
Equal result. Okay. Now I create a variable over here.
Yep.
Mapping that thing. Success. But how do I then? What do I do to? Here's where I always fall apart. Is how do I get that thing from here to there?
You don't.
I don't.
It comes
that's
from
the one
the
for the
script.
action. I'm going to do that at the end. Okay. Success.
Yeah.
And result value.
And then in outputs in the net, in the action outputs, you're going to output those two output variables.
True,
false. Yeah, there you go.
Result value is floating point number.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Then success is.
You want to give them a numeric as well? So they could use either an integer and a float, depending on. Because
I'm not
I
opposed.
think Flow will really care. So we'll probably need to give them both.
Okay. Well, let's do. Okay, let's do both. So then what we really need to do right down here is, so result value is the result.
Yep.
And then let's say output dot integer
yeah
equals
result dot there is a function for it, but I don't remember it is. We might have to cast and
it's not math to integer. Is it object to?
I'm waiting for Josh to tell us.
I'm waiting for all the answers up to this point. Let's see.
Oh, there's like 20 ways to do this, and I want to know what the quickest one in ServiceNow is.
I don't know that this is the correct. This is not correct because what we want. Well, here, okay. Let's say. Okay, well, I'm going to do this. Let's just do this. I don't know that that's actually right, but if we're dividing something and then we take the question is, does round automatically return an integer? Does it return a type integer? That I don't know.
Let's see how we'll do it. Math that round.
Parse float. Lisa is saying dot parse float.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was getting to is parse float, but I think math round will be fine as well.
Math round will be integer type. Okay, well, let's go ahead and
nearest integer. So I'm okay with math round.
Okay, let's call it integer. And that might actually be better because now 6.51 is going to go to 7, which is probably better than truncating, which some things might do. All right. So then in outputs, we actually need to create another output.
Right.
This, which means we probably want to change this to float value.
Float value and int value. Yeah.
Integer
value. And then drop them in there.
And now we've got this one kind of funky named, but I don't feel like renaming it at this moment.
Yeah, and it's internal, so we don't care.
Okay.
Only other devs will see that one. The users will see the nice name.
All right. Now that looks
reasonable.
I honestly did not think it was going to take half an hour, but
I thought it would take more than your estimation of 10 minutes, but not quite half an hour.
All right. Now I'm going to learn, because this is a thing we want to Josh is saying there's a 2 precision that we can get fine grained. I think for what we're trying to do right here, this is fine. What I'm going to do now is,
and Josh, you're welcome to take this share item, download it, change it however you want, and re-upload it.
It can be Josh Saxton's utilities. You can fork away. Open source world as it,
we're getting it rolling. Other people.
I'm going to create a test flow. Here's the lesson that I have learned. We have learned this the hard way. I'm going to create a test flow.
We have learned this lesson.
I am not going to put the test flow
in our
scope because it will leave little annoying things behind. Or at least I don't know that I have done this in Madrid. It did prior to Madrid. I can't verify this on Madrid, but just for fun, just to do this, math test flow. And we're going to put it in global because I don't want it to leave stuff behind that we have to deal with.
Everybody's got plenty of work, Josh. That doesn't mean you can't make a share item.
That's The run as using. Yeah, this is all fine. Okay, we'll submit that. So let's just do a few tests.
Yep.
Let's just. We don't care what this is. Oh, yeah. Let's just say, can I just do run on demand? I can't do that. Let's say daily, whenever. I do not care what this is.
Yeah.
So let's do an action. Arith. Oh, the classic.
Okay, classic. Set configurations, draft actions. Woo-woo.
Okay. Do I have to reload the darn thing? Probably I do.
Yeah, probably.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because it just got saved this one time, so it's probably still not in there.
Arith. There it is.
Hey, look, it is.
Okay. So let's do 12 and 13. And just try that.
He's starting small, folks.
Why is this taking so long?
That does seem.
What the heck, man? Add is not defined.
Add is not defined. Oh,
what the heck, man? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't make those strings. Let's go back to the script. I know exactly what I did. Because case is.
Oh.
That's the way I was doing it. It was actually trying to.
It was trying to
find an object named add and subtract and etc. So that was actually what it was taking so long was, I think, in JavaScript compilation.
It was looking for those objects and saying, "Please, can I find them, sir?"
Somewhere in my stack, do I have these things?
Yeah. Somewhere, someone's got to divide. I know it.
Why is my save not lit up?
Click into like a
Yeah. Okay. All right. Try this guy again. Reload the flow. Run the test. Please don't take so long.
Please don't take so
long. Input output steps.
Not a number.
Where's the nan?
Not a number.
Integer nan.
Strings 12, 13, add.
All right. Well, let's do our classic. We can't use the debugger in here, can we? Can we? I don't know if we can. I know how to try to find out. No, it's not letting me at a breakpoint. I think this might actually be a thing that I know that specifically is not tied in right now. Okay.
Yeah, certainly when it was only able to be run asynchronously, it could not be breakpointed because it was asynchronous anyway.
So this operand 1 and operand 2. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's just do some logging.
Operand 1. Yeah, why?
I'm gonna think it's gonna be around that conversion. I think we may have made an assumption that is not holding there. But so we told it string. We gave it basically the string 13. I almost wonder if we're not being too cute here. And what if we do it the other way around? Just to say, why don't we try? I'm going to block this out just for right now. I'm going to leave this. Just in case we decide we want this. Let's not do anything, but let's not do the two fixed. Let's not do that. Let's not do anything. Let's let JavaScript do its JavaScripty magic. You know, the same way that it's going to determine, is it numberish, like the weird way that JavaScript does these things. Let's just let it coerce.
Okay.
If it fails to coerce, the problem being it may not fail. It may just do something weird, right?
Yeah. Unexpected things may happen.
This is honestly more complicated than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. That's okay. You want to finish commenting out your try catch?
Yeah. Let's do that. Oh, is that?
Yeah, you killed that line. Okay.
Let's see what that does.
Then click out. Yeah.
All right.
Give it a whirl.
Try this guy again.
Run test.
Bad request.
You need to hit cancel and reload your action.
Let's go ahead and in fact, took my action all the way away. Rith. All right, let's test you. Completed.
Well, thank you, JavaScript. You did exactly what we told you to. You took two strings and put them next to each other. Good job.
All right. So
good job, JavaScript.
We can't do that. So then the other question is, what if we
that's exactly where I wanted to be.
That is so stupid. What if we do this? What if we do this up in here? What if we just make this? What if we just don't worry about it? What if we say floating point up here? Do we want to do that?
I mean, it'll be some form of success, but I don't know if it's generic of a success as we want it to be, but it will be.
Is there a use case where
there's plenty of times where I take string fields as they're stored in ServiceNow and have to do math operations?
Okay. You sold me. That this might be something coming out of it may be a string meaning, but it's coming out of a thing that's not string type. So we need to we need to contain the responsibility here. So this ain't gonna do it.
Yep.
So then the question is, so we need to get more robust down in here.
Yeah. So
let's decomment this.
Yeah, and see why it's failing.
All right. So we'll have to see what these operands are. Because it didn't fail per se, it just came out with something that's not a number. Is this even going to tell us enough? So we do two fixed. Here's an idea. Let's just do before we do this in flow.
Two fixed is the wrong direction.
Isn't
it?
Well, here's
two fixed converts a number into a string, not the reverse.
Does it? Do we want parse?
We want to num or something. Let's go. Let's parse int. Yeah, converts a string into an int.
Parse, but we don't want parse. We want parse.
Or parse float.
Parse.
Or number.
Float.
So you want something other than to fixed, because that doesn't give you a number.
Tariq, but the thing that's coming in could be a numeric, it could be a float. So we want to be able to generically handle that. Let's try this.
Yeah, so we can do convert to a number, so number
too much more of that. Let's do the Okay, so much stuff in here. I can't find the right. Let's just do, because what we're failing at, like this is, none of this is Flow Designer problem.
Right. Open up Explore. Yay.
Let's do this.
Explore.
A dot, and we might actually get a dot to parse float is what we're doing. Bar AP. This is dumb, but
and instead of parse float, why don't we just do to number? Or why don't we just do number?
To num.
You just do a new number and
new number.
So var variable name equals new number, and then the A goes inside. Yeah, that's exactly. PP. Then we'll have a number.
GS add info message AP plus BP. 25. Okay. Let's do that thing.
Let's do that.
Let's do that thing. All right. So then I don't know that I even care too much about try catching that point. That is much more, that's probably more robust, probably more successful than what the foolishness we're trying to do. And we don't need to do the, we don't need to do the conditional, because if it's if it's already a number, it's just another different object. It's the same number. Okay. All right.
Feeling a little better.
I feel pretty good about this one.
And you're gonna have to, since you don't ever hit save, it doesn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just throw in a save this time.
Okay.
On the flow.
Arithmetic operation.
Because it'll reload your action if it's saved, but if it's not saved, it drops it.
Save, test, run.
Run. Please don't fail.
25. All right. Look at that. Success. The output of our record this is from the output of the step. What's the output of our? And true. Okay. 25, 25, true. All right.
Nice.
Now
we can use that.
Let's just do the same thing.
For, other maths.
The same thing.
Subtract.
Should get a nice negative integer. Let's see how that works. And get a nice nice -1. Okay.
All right.
You do tell us true. Okay, good.
Lovely, lovely.
Let's do this. Multiply. $140 is going to be somewhere in the 160s, right? Something like that. 156. That seems about right.
We'll allow that. Yes.
It seems about right. Yes. 146. Okay. Let's do the division. And get whatever weird thing this gives us. Give us
0.9 something. Because you should always know what victory looks like before you press run.
And look at that.
0.92. Yes.
And we have an integer value that's
and an
1.
integer value. Look at that.
All right. So that, and then we should have a nice, let's just check and make sure that we have that now.
Throw in the 0 just for the final test.
Yes.
And then we'll call it.
We're
We'll
not
call
gonna
victory.
Yeah, we're not gonna stop there. I'm gonna do a few more. So we'll do a 0 in the divide. We don't want that. What we want to do is get a nice false.
And not
kill an exception.
Not kill the world.
Yeah, we don't want a red. We don't want a red result. We want a nice false result. False result with a successful flow execution.
Yes. Successful flow.
Now you get successful 0.0, 0.0. Now let's do a few others. Let me kill all these results here. Let's go in here. Let's give it 12 and foobar. This should give us, let's even do
candy.
Fake. Say what?
Candy.
Are you saying candy?
Candy. Yes. Give me all the candy.
Okay, fine. Candy divided by foobar, which should be a nice false, not an exception. Not an exception.
Successfully.
NaN, which I'm fine with. Here's the problem. We don't have a false.
Go to the step though.
We've got NaN, which is a reasonable enough.
It says success is true because we didn't account for that because you took out the try catch.
I did take out the try catch. So what do we want to do? We want to catch that one for sure. So we got NaN.
We can also just check to see if the thing is not a number and then make the success be false.
If
success, if result,
if result is NaN, is it or NaN? Is it NaN?
I think that for some reason the second one's capital, but I'll look it up. I'll look the syntax up.
That actually looks right. If result is NaN.
Yeah, it's both the ends are capital. Yeah.
Well,
there you go. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too, because then I'm fine with all this stuff. We'll just let JavaScript do the NaN. And again, if either one of these operands is NaN, well, we can test that case with one number and one nonsense. All right, so let's try it again. I'm sure I didn't save it. As divide and candy foobar. This says you have lit up people's imaginations in the chat. Now what they want are candy foobars in the booth at Knowledge. We'll save the flow. Let's test it. This is a classic one that I did not think that this would fill the hour, but I'm not sad that it did. Cannot find function is NaN in object.
Yeah, is NaN. The function should be is NaN. What did you put?
What did I put?
Yeah, you have to hit cancel. Scrolling down. That looks right to me.
Is NaN.
It's is NaN accepts a parameter.
So is it object that is NaN?
I think it's just is NaN and then result inside. I believe that is how the syntax would be.
Again.
Blah. Totally thinking about making that t-shirt, James. Candy divided by foobar NAN. Oh, I'm definitely breaking out some of my funnier shirts for some of knowledge.
And
I got a brand new. It's not a bug. It's a feature shirt. Just yesterday.
Is NAN true? Okay. Is NAN? You are correct. Is NAN with the parameter? It's not. It's not. So this is right here.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right. Do we have our candy divided by food bar? Okay. We'll test it again. We want to get zeros and false, or NAN and false,
or NAN and false.
NAN and false is what we're gonna get. NAN
and false. Noise.
All right, that is good enough for right now. And so then we can do this. So then now, given this is actually usable for kind of
fairly generically. Yes.
Fairly generically. We can take some outputs. We can do, there has certainly been times where you want to do just some kind of what you want to do is loop over something and keep a sum or, some, whatever the thing might be. You can do that with this.
Yeah, you could conceivably keep track of the number of loops your for each did.
There's certainly like
in there.
Your increment. Yeah. Your increment variable is actually a really good one. I like that. But for now, just in the case where, you got two different values coming from two different returns from two different actions, and you want to do something with them, you can do this, and then you can have a little conditional if they're not actually numbers, and you could do this with fields out of the record. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. And if what you get is not a value, then it'll be caught, and you can do a conditional on that. So I'm declaring victory and sailing home at this point.
So before we hit the beers, knowledge, we're definitely going to be there. We're knee deep in knowledge prep right now. We both have labs, breakouts, theater talks that we're doing. We'll have a blog post detailing the things that we think are interesting right now at developer.servicenow.com. If you go to the blog there's my Knowledge 19 guide, which will give you helpful hints on how to, pick good sessions. So couple of the highlights there is, be a little diverse in what you pick. Mm-hmm. Don't just do all labs. Don't just do all breakouts. Be a little diverse. Get to different types of sessions, and look who the speaker is. So look to see who it is. See if they've given other good talks before. See if what they're talking about is actually going to be interesting to you. Bring comfortable shoes. That's super important. Things in Vegas are further away than they appear.
If you look at Google Maps and you look at two things and the buildings are adjacent, that does not imply it's not a mile between your room and the meeting space. Certainly,
in fact, it does imply that they are.
I can tell you when we looked at Google Maps, I'm like, oh, look, the Luxor and the Mandalay Bay, they're right there together. Right. Fantastic. No, it was a mile and a half from my room to my breakout room, my workshop room. It was unbelievable. And so it's the same thing with the Venetian and the Palazzo and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
The one thing we do want is because these are finite resources, we do ask, this is like the buffet. Take all you want, but eat all you take. So that you do want, don't sign up for a thing on spec that you're 50-50 that you think you'll attend, because when you do that and you don't go, then you consumed a finite seat. And so someone may be kind of like trying to overflow into it, but if you don't think you're certain, or you're not sure that you should be able to fill up your days completely with stuff that you are
that you want to be at. Absolutely.
So if you're ever on the fence,
there should be 3 things you want to go to.
Right.
You should need to coordinate with some other people you're going with to disperse yourselves to go, and that's actually in the guide as well. But yeah, get those, like you said, it's a buffet. It's all you can eat, but eat what you take. So
And one other thing to be aware of is kind of implied by that, these things do fill up. So a month out is a lot better than trying to book your schedule 3 days out, because
yes,
things fill up.
and get the mobile app, and you can you can try and get in things as people are juggling at the day of the event.
Mhm.
But it's a little trickier, obviously. Always with 20,000 plus people, there's Wi-Fi congestion issues, etc., etc. But
And
you you can
it
try.
does help the planning. Like if a session fills up like this week or next week, then that might be that's a session that's a good candidate for a repeat. So getting these things filled out earlier helps everyone. It helps you. It helps the planners. It helps everybody in making the experience better. And that said, there's a gazillion logistical things. Drink
Yep.
lots of water.
And if you have more suggestions when reading the guide, put them in the comments. So
We
if
have
you have
comments now.
use them. Put them in there, and I'll incorporate them. And then we'll take the feedback and make them for the next year's guide, because there's always a guide for each year.
And I don't know that we said this. I don't remember if you say this explicitly in your post, but have fun. Talk to people.
Absolutely.
Talk to people. This is so much more. Neither Andrew nor I are shy, introverted people, but we do know that a lot of our constituency, a lot of people that watch this, and a lot of people that attend CreatorCon are not as outgoing. It's not as easy for you,
Right.
but you are seldom gonna you have innumerable amount of small talk to talk to anybody. It's built in. What sessions did you go to? What do you like? What are your experiences? What do you do? How do you use ServiceNow? How long have you been on ServiceNow? Conversation is automatic at this thing. So just meet people.
It really is. And the likelihood of, so the anxiety level of talking to people at an event like this, it should, for most people, be lower, because if you go sit down at a random table, which I suggest you go sit down at random tables that you don't know anyone at, and strike up a conversation, they are likely to be more like you than nearly any other time that you go and have that happen, right? So it's 7 other introverted people that are ServiceNow centric that are sitting at that table. Just go start it.
Yeah, and the amount of value that I have got from just meeting people, and I always do this. Like I will not at a mealtime sit down at a table with people I know. I try to always look for one where there's 1 to 7 people I don't know, and it bugs the heck out of me if my coworkers come and fill in around me, because I don't want that. I think at this point they're all trained well enough to know not to, because I hate that. When I make the effort to go meet with strangers, and then here comes a bunch of people I know.
Right. So, for example, the likelihood of you seeing Dave and I together when we're not doing some form of presentation or standing at our booth is very low.
Because we are both trying to meet new people,
and we are trying to meet other people.
We spend all day together in person or virtually. We don't need to spend Vegas time there. So anyway,
all right, let's hit the beers and hit out of here. All right. So as I said, Vienna Lager, excellent beer. Loved the Devil's Backbone Brewery. They make good stuff. This is a pure 4.25 every day of the week.
This cold pressed coffee stout from Tumwater. I'm trying to keep me behind it so it doesn't disappear in my.
Yep, it looks good.
I'm gonna give it a 3.75. It's we're sitting right next to my very old cup of Speedway coffee that I've had all day. I get the half-gallon one, and then I just heat it up all day. But it's not the best. It's not your premium gourmet drinking experience, but it kind of goes thematically with it. So 3.75.
Nice.
All right. So again, we didn't think we were going to fill the show, but I'm happy with that, because now we don't have to think so hard on the list stuff. And that was actually a good exercise, because we had more edge case than it appeared, which is a very realistic scenario. Right? That's how life works, right?
So, we could have done it, set integer, done it, and been done in 7 minutes, but that wouldn't have been as nearly as useful.
It's not. Yeah, we couldn't assign random glide record fields, stuff like that. And so now we have a thing that works better. We took the time. We instead of doing it in 5 minutes, we did it in an hour, but we have a better thing. And so MHZ Prayer, who I don't know, I think we might know who that is, but I don't recognize the name off the head. It says, now we have an icebreaker asking people what candy divided by foobar is.
That's
NaN
awesome.
with a result of false. That's what it is. That's
All
what
right.
makes us happy. All right. Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
great weekend, everybody. Bye.